Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Lisa Huber, and you're listening to the Divine I Am Broadcast Network, where we bring spiritual and metaphysical awareness from the heart to the public. And it's my pleasure today to introduce my friend Julia Wagner. She's so cool, guys. Very artistic vibe. Julia is a quantum healing professional from Lawrence, Kansas. As a synesthesiologist,
Like I said, I told her before, I said it's a made up word, so you can say it however you want. I say synesthesiologist. Good job. Good try.
Thank you. Oh, I love it. She works with people around the world, creating expanded states of awareness by engaging areas of the brain where our different senses intersect. And her certifications include an NLP, a QHHT, a BQH, and Julia's ordination is through ULC Ministries. Welcome, Julia.
Hi, everybody.
So happy. Did you we were just talking about can you explain what those are? Some people might not know, what the QA,
Yeah. Quantum healing, it's a modality that incorporates using other times. For example, you can go into past lives, or you might go into what you would consider a future life or a different dimension. So it's incorporating all these different aspects into the modality and into our healing. So with the idea that it's not just this lifetime or just this perspective that can be used to awaken those other states.
I love that. And I just wanted to say welcome into Colleen. And guys, if you're in Clubhouse, my apologies. We just had a little tech issue. You're probably able to hear Julia and myself, but unfortunately, she's not able to hear you. And we're going to work that out. So if you'd like to jump over to that YouTube link and you have any questions today, I will be looking in the feeds, guys. And I wanted to just go into, I see Nettie's on there. Hey, thank you, guys. Okay. Yay! And Nancy's here. Send you guys some invites. So what's this all about? Tell us the messages from your soul.
Yeah. The understanding that we're constantly getting messages from what you might call the inner voice. You might call it the higher self, the spirit, the part that might not be necessarily completely conscious or completely physical, that part that extends beyond our physical reality or our 3D reality. So as we can connect with these different parts of ourselves, then you might say that we're connecting with the soul, or the part that goes beyond. This part's Julia Wagner that's sitting right here in this seat, but there's another part that extends beyond this lifetime. And through getting in certain brain states, certain activities, simply just allowing, simply asking, we can connect with what you might call messages from the soul or the higher self or the unconscious mind, subconscious mind. If you guys know other words for this concept, feel free to put them in the chat. But
yes,
that's the idea, is that there's this part that has more information than us, than the conscious mind, that has more resources that we can tap into and bring into our everyday awareness and use those resources.
Yeah, I was going to say, people will ask, hey, I'm having a hard time. Or how do you even start to begin to connect with your spirit guides? Guess what, guys? They're connecting with you all day, 24/7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it's a matter of listening, allowing, all those things. So I like to think that we have these superpowers.
Yes.
And they're normal superpowers, but we don't necessarily use them all the time. And so the first sets that I like to bring up when we're doing these types of exercises are that power of asking for assistance, saying this, okay, please help me, giving permission to get in that mode and really allowing it, accepting it as it comes. So sometimes I like to think of it, it's like a waitress, right? So if you're putting in an order and you don't tell them what you want, they may not bring you the right thing. If you're sitting there with a glass full of water and you're not showing gratitude for the water, you haven't drank any of it, you're not accepting it or allowing it, it's probably not likely that they're going to come back and refill that cup, and it's not going to do you any good if they do. It's going to overflow the water. So I tend to think of it as asking for permission, calling the waitress over, saying, hey, I'm ready now to order, telling them what you want, giving them permission, and actually accepting what you have in that form of gratitude by drinking that water and showing them that you're ready for more.
I love that. And I just want to say, yeah, because guys, the other thing is I know everybody receives messages differently. I mean, maybe you can in all different senses. Some might be able to receive messages through journaling. Did you want to talk about the different ways? Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect to bring that up because I have an exercise that we're going to do in a minute
Yay!
that has to do with writing in our own handwriting. So journaling's the perfect intersection for that. So if you guys have a pen and paper handy, get it ready. Or if you don't, go ahead and get it ready now, or I'll give you just a minute later to get it ready as we do that. But yeah, I tend to think that our body is probably the biggest superpower that we have. And that includes so many of these other aspects like writing, which includes graphology, analyzing the handwriting, getting goosebumps, feeling that space in your stomach move when you're getting a yes or getting a no, or you're feeling drawn to something or getting that aversion. So the body is one of those main superpowers that I like, probably number one superpower that we like to use when it comes to getting those messages.
And also, doesn't it help to find something you really enjoy doing and then seeing if you tap in that way?
Yeah.
I mean, walking. Some people might not be into meditating. I mean, it's a common. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, and then I would just say that define it in a different way. Walking is meditation.
Yes.
Petting your cat. Petting the cat. I saw somebody on The Price is Right the other day, and they were spinning that wheel, and they were saying, "I love my kids so much," and I could see it click into place where they manifested hitting the dollar. And
that is so awesome.
And I could see it was the love that it was that alignment through finding that passion, something that you love.
Yes, I love that. And guys, if you're just joining us, I just want to say welcome into Miguel and Julie and Oana and Ira, Nettie, and Clubhouse. I gotta bring out my old lady glasses, guys. Sorry, hold on. I say this all the
same way now. I have to change now too.
My glass is broken. I'm relying on this magnifying glass. And Colleen is with us, and Kat. And I see Barbara down there. And guys, if you're in Clubhouse, again, my apologies. I put the link up above to YouTube, which we normally do. And Julia, unfortunately, is unable to hear you. And we're going to work on that tech issue. But I know one of the ladies in there did say she can hear you guys. I think can hear Julia. But if you want to jump over and ask any questions on that YouTube link, please feel free to, because I do have a question that well, actually, Ira said it was more a statement, and I think you were getting ready to ask everybody to get a paper and pen. She did say that would be great to know the different ways to channel. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't consider myself a channel as far as put it. I get messages from, I just say they. which it could be my higher self, it could be a past self, it could be aspects from the universe, it could just, for me, the way I get my message is just an inner knowing. It's claircognizant. I just know. Sometimes I don't know what I know. Sometimes I'll say things that turn out to be, something that happens in the future, and I just don't even know. And then somebody comes back and tells me, oh, that's that thing you said. So for me, I just happen to know that information, but other people channel in different ways, or are able to assign those feelings to different parts of their body, different motor responses. So sometimes I'll have clients set different motor responses, especially if you're going really deep in trance. You don't want to talk, so you might just want to raise your hand or raise a little pinky or nod or blink, things like that. So everyone has a different way. I tend to think that we all can tap into those other ways, but we have ways that we tend to gravitate toward. So I might just know, another person might pick up another entity and channel them verbatim, like in trance, channeling them verbatim, and not have any recollection of what they said, and be completely out and not remember. Whereas another person can channel and they'll be conscious at the same time. So I would love to know a little bit more about that too. I'm excited to keep learning.
Yeah, because I'm just popping this up. Iris said, I feel like I'm always in meditation, but yes, indeed, doing something we like helps us to connect the soul. And what was the exercise you're going to have us do?
Oh, well, what I want, the first thing that I want us to do is take a moment to write down some goals or things that you'd like insights into. For lack of a better term, we might just call a problem area, something that you'd want to transcend or overcome, some area that you'd like to explore a little bit And this, for example, what would you like to ask your soul? What do you want to know? Why do you want those messages from your soul? What do you want to connect about? So just take a moment. We'll be asking things like, what can I do? How can I do this better? What's keeping me from connecting in this way? Can I get insight into this event that happened? How are my gifts helping other people? How can I focus my self-care more effectively? Things like that. It doesn't have to be super deep. So we're only together for, an hour. But just a few areas that you'd like to explore. And then as we go through some of the exercises, you can hopefully get those messages from your soul.
And I did want to say, guys, we were just talking about this before we started. Julie won't be doing she's not doing readings or anything like that today. She's just helping you guys to understand how to connect to your divine, your divinity, and everyone that you cannot see. or maybe you can see.
You might see them, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of those entities, those helpful sources, that's what I like to do as well, is call in the guides, give permission, say thank you for being here, express that gratitude. So if anyone has guides that they want to call in, feel free to do that now. And I'm just in a general sense saying any positive source expressions, they're welcome to join us. Ourselves from the future as ascended masters are always welcome to be here. All those parts of the soul that are helpful. Beings from other dimensions, our angels, our animal guides, they always like to help us. And if you hear some meowing or see a tail in the background, that might be mine helping too. Our ancestors, our angels, all of them are welcome to join us today and help with these messages, allow you to receive those more and more clearly as we go. So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Yeah, guys.
Physical and non-physical.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're just popping on, guys, we're just going through a little exercise that Julie is going to walk us through. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen,
yeah. Okay. So the first part of this exercise, this one's called Chain Reaction by one of my teachers, Mike Mandel. And this is about how easy it is to use tools. So you can use pretty much anything for divination or to get messages. So what I'm going to use today is there's a tool online that's called the Café au Sol Dream Dictionary. So I'm just going to go on there and I'm going to choose 3 different words. So what you want to do is first choose one of these questions that you've just written down. Choose one of the areas that you'd like to ask for insight into. And I'm going to choose 3 words relatively randomly here. I'm just going to kind of click on 3 words. And then the trick is to associate these words to your question. There's no right or wrong answer. You're just bringing up meanings from your soul, associating the words to your question, associating the words to each other, and see what messages you might bring out of them. So now I'm going to choose the first word, and that word is moth. So go ahead and write that one down, and I'm going to write it down too so I don't forget.
And can you let us know what is that site that you said?
It's Café au Sol. It's CAFE, cafe, and then AU, all, soul, SOUL.com.
Oh, okay.
They have lots of different tools there.
Wonderful. I'm going to be checking that out right after this.
Oracles and I Ching, and I love it. It's a go-to resource for me. Wonderful. So first word is moth. Second word is television. Neat one. And third word is childhood home. Ooh. 2 words, but concept there. So, all right, moth, television, childhood home. And again, there's no right or wrong ways to associate, just this jump from one meaning to the next. They like to say it's like stepping from one meaning, like a stepping stone to another. Or like if you light a chain of matches, seeing those matches go one off after the other. Okay. Is anybody getting any meanings that are jumping out at them? And of course, when it comes to getting messages from your soul, slower is faster. That being said, we only have an hour, so we're going to squeeze in as much as we can.
Right,
Y'all
right.
can watch this and slow it down at your own pace and take your time with it later if you'd like to as well. But anybody have any meanings coming through? What do you think about that exercise?
So they write down, and if would you mind repeating that again? I'm sorry, I have ADHD and I don't like labeling things, and I truly know what that means. So,
this one's the chain reaction exercise.
Yep.
By Mike Mandel.
Yep.
And we have 3 words: moth, television, and childhood home.
Okay.
And we're associating those words to one of those areas that you just wrote down that you wanted insight into, or one of the problem areas, or a message that you'd like from your soul. So let's say if I wanted to, figure out what kind of job I wanted to pursue. What kind of job do I want to pursue? Well, I think about that moth, and that moth is it's coming into the television just like a moth to a flame. And what does that? Well, that's something that I'm really passionate about, something I just can't turn my eye away from. I just need that kind of job. That's something that's going to bring a moth to the television. And let's see, how can I associate childhood home? I had a comfortable childhood. So for me, I think of comfort and familiarity, and it feels like I'm supposed to be there. So a job that would make me feel like I'm supposed to be there, that I can't really get away from. I'm drawn to it like a moth to a television. So
what?
There's no wrong way to do it.
Yeah. Ira just said, I asked how I begin my universal service of love to all. I love that, Ira. And then she said television.
Yes. Yay. Get your message out there.
Is
that what you're taking from it? That's a good one. Yeah, good one. So, okay, perfect. So now that we have dipped our toe in that idea where we can get those messages, we can use any of the tools that we have available to us. It can be words, it can be sounds, it can be sights, it can be smells, it can be memories, it can be things that we're making up. So now I just wanted to introduce the idea that our emotions are also in this picture. And so sometimes it's the things like our polarized emotions that tend to keep us from getting those messages from the higher self or from the expanded point of view. Those emotions, they might keep us really focused in one state as opposed to being able to expand into a greater sense of awareness. So what I like to do is just get us to a nice state of neutral before we do too much else. So go ahead and close your eyes, get comfortable, ready to relax, go as deeply as you can. And we'll go into that space of the subconscious or the unconscious mind, that place where neutral exists. Just remember, there's nothing that anybody expects anything from you. There's nothing you need to do, no expectations, no way to do it wrong. You're just going to feel wonderful, feel relaxed, and get into that space of neutral. And so first, I want you to imagine that the essence of who you are is going to drift away from your body. You might call that the passenger, the observer, the soul, the higher self, the spirit. I like to call it the essence. So imagine that you're coming out of the body and you're sitting there looking back at yourself, looking back at that body with your eyes closed, relaxed. They're sitting in the seat. Now, first, I want you to give that body some appreciation, some love. Imagine how miraculous this vehicle is. Everything that this body has done for you, all the pleasure that it's experienced, all the people that it's met, all the places that it's taking you. Give a sense of gratitude. Thank you to that body for allowing you to experience all of that. And realize that this is the most impressive creation in all of the universe, this human body that we're inside now. And we're drifting away from saying thank you to this body. And drift further and further away as you look back at that body, get the sense that you're going through the roof, through the ceiling, and away from your building. You're going away from your neighborhood. You're drifting up like a balloon that somebody let go of. Someone set it free at a park. So go up and up and up, up away from your body, away from your neighborhood, until you're looking back down at that beautiful blue planet that we're all on. Look down at that blue and white planet, all the clouds and the oceans and the trees, all the people, the billions of people. You're floating away from all of that. And you can look back and see that planet getting further and further away. And notice how your perspective shifts as you move away from that planet far below you. And now, in your mind's eye, I want you to get a sense of a target, like an archery target or a big bullseye. You can see the colored bands. And in the very center of that bullseye are all of your negative emotions, every negative emotion you've ever experienced: anger, hate, malice, frustration, resentment, avoidance. All of those negative emotions are right there in the center of that target. And in just a minute, I'm going to make a sound, whoosh. And as I make that sound, your soul, your essence, is going to be fired straight through the center of that target into a space of neutral. And it might feel odd to you because you might never experience neutral quite like this before. It's a feeling of indifference to anything around you. So I want you to get ready. And in a second, I'm going to make that sound and you'll enter that space of neutral. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh. Good job. And now you're in that space of neutral. You're just drifting and floating in that space. Nothing affects you, nothing bothers you, nothing to disturb you here. You are in neutral. And as you enjoy that experience of neutral, I'm going to snap my fingers once. And that sound is going to anchor that feeling of neutral in your mind and body. Because from today on, whenever you need to access that, you can just snap your fingers once or make a snapping sound. And no matter what's going on around you, you'll be able to come back into that sense of neutral, that pure peace. So go ahead and anchor that in. Allow yourself to feel that neutral in the whole of your being. And as I snap my fingers once, you can anchor that into your memory. Good job. And now that you've anchored in that sense of neutral, I want you to get a sense of drifting away once more, further and further away, and even higher out from before. Watch that planet getting smaller and smaller as you drift away and get that sense of freedom once again. And again, see that target, that archery target with those bands of color. And in the center of that target, this time, is every positive emotion that you have ever experienced and some that you haven't experienced yet. Love, joy, happiness, pleasure, passion, connection, ease. Every positive emotion that you've ever experienced or you are going to experience is in the center of that bullseye. It's the most intense, incredible experience as you'll be shot through the center of that bullseye. So get ready. And in a moment, I'm going to count to 3 and make that whoosh sound. And when I do, you'll feel the most intense joy, happiness, pleasure, passion, freedom, ease. You might even laugh out loud. You feel so good as I make that noise. So I'll get ready and count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh! You're shot through the center of that target, feeling every positive emotion in the world, in the universe, right now. And now we are in that space of beautiful feeling of expansion, of ease and joy. And while you're there, I want you to think about all of the people that you love and all of the people who love you. And animals too. Don't forget them. See all those faces, feel them, hear them. Make that love have a noise, and make that noise get louder and louder, and give that noise a beautiful color, and make that color grow bolder and bolder until it's growing and shining like the sun on a hot summer day. And I want you to expand that feeling bigger and louder and hotter until it's huge, the size of the entire sun. And as soon as you have that, then I want you to shrink it down, condense it, that hot, glowing, bright feeling of love, make it into about the size of a golf ball or a coal, and then put it in your being. Accept that sense of love, that passion, that connection from now on. And in order to help you anchor that feeling into yourself, into your soul, I'm going to snap my fingers twice. And when I make that sound, it's going to grow stronger, that feeling of love, connection, passion, and it's going to light you up, set you free, bring you into the next level of understanding and expansion. And every time you want to anchor that in or expand that or ramp that up, you just need to snap your fingers twice, and you will expand that sense of positivity into your whole being anytime you need to. Good job. And now that we have that sense of passion and connection anchored in, then I want you to breathe in strength, breathe in fitness, accept your well-being, accept your new sense of health, and realize that you already have all the passwords that you need to access everything that you need from your soul now. And as your connection improves, your intuition improves, and it just becomes easier and easier to get those messages. And you're getting everything as quickly, the perfect pace that you need to. And anytime you hear that word easy or think the word ease, you'll be able to build upon this connection, because words are like magic. It's easy to experience this connection. So in a moment, I'll count to 10. On the count of 10, you'll be awake, alert, feeling wonderful all over, ready to accept this experience. So 1, coming back to this time, this place, feeling that joy and happiness expanding, bringing you back to this world. 2, coming back nicely. 3, 4, hearing the sounds in the room. 5, 6, that powerful feeling of positivity is flooding your body. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're wide awake and feeling wonderful all over, happier than you've ever been, and able to bring those tools back into your conscious awareness.
That was absolutely beautiful. I loved it so much.
I love that technique.
Yeah, I'm going to be going back and re-listening to this, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm really getting into this, and I don't want to like disappear.
Yeah, right. I understand. That's techniques from one of my teachers, Freddie Jacquin. I love his work.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love his imagery there.
Absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to say, I saw some people jump in Clubhouse. Thank you so much for joining us. I see, excuse me, Angela and Sion, 2 Angelas, hello, and Barbara. And again, my apologies. We're sitting here with the beautiful, very, very, very talented Julia Wagner. She's live now on that YouTube channel. And normally she would be able to hear you, but we're having a little tech issue. So we're going to work on that, because I had that with someone else as well. I don't know what's going on. But if you want to jump over to YouTube or just stay and listen in, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them actually in the chat box down there. I can look in Clubhouse, and I'll look on YouTube and Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Twitch. If you guys have any questions for Julia, please feel free to type those, and I'll be looking. Absolutely beautiful. I'm surprised your kitty cat didn't.
I know.
Because they usually just gravitate, right?
Well, as soon as we started, the cat got on, and I just kind of pushed her off. I yeeted her off the bed. See if she would stay. But now that we're talking about her, I see her. She's right there.
I love it. Oh, Joe, welcome, Joe. He just said, got here late, but it was pretty cool.
Welcome to the party.
Yes, guys. And if you did, please know you can go back and catch the replay. It'll be up on whatever platform you're at. And that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you again, Julia. Just scanning to see if anybody has any questions. Not seeing anything. Oh, she said, hi, guys. Okay, not seeing anything. Okay. So let me just check. Might be a little bit of delay. I wanted to ask you, where can they reach you? I know we have the expansion site, but would you want to let them know and what you're offering?
Oh, yeah, I do Beyond Quantum Healing sessions. Those are typically 3 to 4 hour long, pretty intensive, as you can imagine, experiences. For most people, it takes them, I don't want to say it always takes a person to a past life, but it can incorporate past lives, other dimensions, future lives, parallel lives, animal lives. You can experience other parts, other aspects of yourself. And then we go through the session, and then we ask to speak to the subconscious mind or higher self or the soul. And then we speak directly to that part of being to get those answers. And it's really amazing the amount of information that you can get that way and the amount of healing that happens.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Tremendously.
Because nobody can do it like you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the answers. And sometimes it just helps to have another person energetically and physically hold space. And then someone who knows the right questions to ask, because you're doing all the work, but it really helps to have someone say, well, what are your mental reactions when that's happening? What's happening physically? What are your emotional reactions? And how is that affecting you in this life? And just having somebody to field those questions and kind of act as the ego while you're going into those higher realms can be helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I wish we lived closer. And do you have a physical site?
Well,
people?
I work remotely as well. QHHT has to be done in person. So that's the one modality that I do. I have 2 modalities that have to be done in person. The other are mind machine glasses that you have to physically put on. But I do the Beyond Quantum Healing is available to be done remotely. So if somebody's interested, feel free to email me. I think you got it up there. It's 5D quantum expansion at gmail.com.
Yes, guys, I have everything, all your sites.
At gmail.com.
Yeah. And I tell you, check them out underneath the video that she's on YouTube and whatever video platform you're on. I have all of her contact information, and she has some amazing videos that she puts out, guys. Yeah, I absolutely love them on YouTube. I mean, that's where I saw them. I don't know if you have them more out. Just very, very creative.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I have 2 completely different channels. One is for making like music videos and linking up visuals. And then I have my channel that's more for quantum healing. But as a synesthesiologist, as you can imagine, those intersect. There's a sharp division between what I do with videos and what I do with quantum healing.
It's just so cool. Yeah. So at 5dexpansion.wordpress.com is your website.
And so I do the longer sessions. That's my passion. But if somebody's just wanting to dip their toes in and do something like a 90-minute experience, I offer those as well, like a past life regression or an exploration session or something like that. And then I also offer neuro-linguistic programming sessions as well. Here the cat comes.
Yay!
Hi, back there. You go look.
I'm surprised mine isn't beating down the door right now.
Yeah, and NLP is not exactly different, but I find that with neuro-linguistic program, we tend to focus more on this lifetime and this timeline from this lifetime more so than looking into others. Although I definitely do incorporate techniques from NLP into other modalities as well.
I was just going to ask you what that difference was, because I've not heard of that before. So it's really working in this lifetime.
Well, it's interesting because NLP is the therapy that modeled 3 other therapists. So it's not one thing. It's a study of effective therapy. So they were looking at people that were using hypnosis, like Erickson, who was using Ericksonian language that would just take people into trance and fix their problems by telling them stories and things. Other people that were using Gestalt therapy and talk therapy. So it's the 3, 3 different types of therapies put together, 3 therapists that they studied, the most effective ones they could find, and then really analyze that and put that into its subcomponents. So it's a little bit technical when you're looking into it, but then you're bringing out these wonderful hypnosis techniques and imagery and imagining timelines and imagining maps of the mind. It's cool stuff.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Speaking of love it, did you do that painting behind you? because I just
I wish.
because it wouldn't want to you're really good. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
love that tapestry, and it's great because whatever you're seeing on the screen, I promise if you zoom in, it looks completely different. So
This is
it's
beautiful.
amazing. I can kind of see like a face there, but as you zoom in, you just keep seeing more sacred geometry and birds and animals.
Yeah. Love it. So, if they were to start with messages from your soul, and if you guys are just joining us, Julia did go over a chain reaction exercise by Mike Mendel. Highly recommend checking that out. And then from there, where would they go? What would you recommend after something like that exercise?
Well, I want to take you guys through a message to, we'll say it's messages from animal guides or animal spirits, but it really can be anybody. I've had ancestors show up through animal spirits, or angels through different animals, but we'll just frame it as, at this point, we're going to an animal sanctuary.
Yay!
And you're going to meet an animal there that's special to you. So this place that you imagine in your mind, you can imagine it any way you want to, but it's full of all kinds of animals. There's even hybrid animals, different fantasy animals you couldn't even imagine. So in this place, there's any kind of animal that your mind can come up with, and probably some that you can't. So just go ahead and frame that in your mind, that you're going to be exploring a beautiful animal sanctuary. And what's the first animal that pops into your mind, or that you meet there, or that catches your interest? So as you explore this place, just take a note. What's the first animal that pops into your mind?
Let us know, guys. I'm curious. I know what mine is. I don't want to leave.
Yeah. And you can come back here anytime you want to. Or you can the animals can come with you too. So as you connect with this animal, start to notice, are they a boy or girl? Are they male or female? And it's okay if you can't see. You might just know what their energy is, masculine or feminine. Are they young? Are they old? Or in the middle? And notice, what's their personality like? What are they doing as you come upon this animal? Do they have others there with them? Do they have a family, or are they there alone? Just sense this animal, their personality, what they're doing. And now I want you to connect with this animal. Look them in the eyes and touch them if it's appropriate, or hold them however you want to connect as fully as you can. But look in their eyes, make that connection. Realize that this animal has a message for you. So listen. What do they say? And there's no right or wrong answers. And it's okay if you just imagine what they might say. Listen, what do they say to you? What do they want you to know? Perfect. And keep that connection. This animal can help you with something. What is it that they can help you with? You might just have a knowing. They might tell you, what are they here to help you with? And also ask them when. When is it appropriate to call on them? How? How do you communicate with this animal in the future? When can they help you? Very good. And finally, just connect one more time and see if there's anything else that they want to say to you. What's important? Why did they come here? What message do they want to leave you with? What did they say? Here's my animal. She says, don't forget about me. And once you've communicated, go ahead and hug the animal. Let them know that you appreciate them. Thank them. Sometimes the animal would like to take you somewhere. Sometimes they'll want you to ride them, or they want you to take them somewhere. So if they want you to take them anywhere, if you want to take them anywhere, feel free to let that happen. Realize you can connect with this animal guide anytime you need to. They're right there. And they can help you with this issue or any other issue that's appropriate. Okay, good job, guys.
I was just going to ask if you feel you'd like to share, would love to know what you guys saw.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I saw.
Yeah, what animal did you meet?
It was a white unicorn with a golden horn, and it's wild because their hair was white at first, but then it went blonde.
Oh, cool.
So,
did they have a family, or
yeah.
were they there alone?
They were there alone, and they started out, they came up and like nuzzled me, and then they kind of trotted around. And then when you said, what's the message? And I got happy birthday, but it's not my birthday. So, but
cool.
I'm going to,
take it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take it. And then they let me know the best time to communicate. And they said I can communicate, this unicorn with them anytime. But for me, mine would be probably going to sleep. And I know what they mean when that hypnagogic state, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the times we just naturally go into that theta state to get those messages. And unicorns are great at opening up portals too. So if you connect with that guide, they can take you pretty much anywhere.
Wow, because we have so many that are just like, I got pictures of them in this house.
Oh, good. Yeah, perfect.
That is awesome. Good to know.
Anybody else have anything that they wanted to share? I love the animal. Sometimes the animals will remind us of a lost loved one. They'll say, oh my gosh, this is my dad talking to me through this golden retriever or whatever. Yeah.
I love it. I'm looking on the feeds. I don't see anything yet, guys.
Okay.
But that is just so awesome. And I am definitely going to go back. And my husband, we always tend to go back and watch the show again. I'm going to really get into this because absolutely beautiful. And I love it because it's all about imagination.
Yeah.
Going in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, Dolores, she came up with the QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique. And a lot of one of the symptoms of coming out of a past life is that you feel like you're making it up, because you're using the same pathways for intuition as you're using for imagination, as you're using for memory. And so you have this distinct feeling like, well, I'm coming up with this on the fly. It's coming from right now. And Dolores, and people say, well, I made it up. I just made it up. It couldn't be real. And Dolores, her response to this, well, why would you make that up? What's special about this life, this experience? Why did you need to see that? How is it going to help you? So my personal belief is that we're making all of this up right now. So I think that all time's happening in the now, and that the more
creating,
we're co-creating it. Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. And that makes sense. It's the simplest way to put it, guys. When because a lot of teachers will say, use your imagination, but we are in the now. We're creating now, and yes, absolutely beautiful. So I have to get creating when we get off the show. I know what I got to do. I got a lot of creation to do with the kids.
You and me both.
Oh my goodness! Oh, this is absolutely amazing. So. If you're just joining us, guys, welcome, and replay watchers and podcast listeners, highly recommend going back. And there was an exercise called Chain Reaction Exercise that Julia shared with us by Mike Mendel. And then we just went over our connecting with your animal, spirit animal is what you would say, I guess. And it doesn't have to be in the animal that you might have. It can be imaginary, anything you want to make up, which I love that.
Yeah. The trick is kind of exploring that place and letting one pop into your mind without using the conscious mind to think about it too hard. Just bring that out of your mind and interview them.
I love that. Yeah, because mine, like I said, had white hair. It was a white unicorn, and then it just went to blonde. So I'm going to be delving into that a little more, just thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm curious about that shift.
So let me just check on Clubhouse to see if anybody's typed anything in the chat box. I don't see anything, guys, and that's totally fine. And again, like I said, if you jump on, please know you can go back and catch the replay. And let me just pop on. There we go. Yay!
Yay.
So I am thoroughly enjoying this. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm a kid again.
Yeah.
I love it. So, yeah.
Well, inner child healing is another aspect that we cover in quantum healing.
Yep. Just using. Oh, love it, Ira. Oh, your baby just spoke. Ira says eagle and dancing.
Yay. Ooh. Wonderful. I've got cat hair on me. Perfect.
Yep, believe me, guys, with the 6 kitties here, you can't leave the house unless you have a roller here and a roller in the car.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm going to a hypnosis conference this next week, and I'm thinking I probably need to get a new lint roller just for the trip.
I know. We go through them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm not saying anything, but
Okay.
Yeah, guys, please feel free to put your information if you watch this later on. Love to see your feedback because we do go back and check it. So appreciate that, guys. And did you have anything else that you wanted to add? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have another exercise if we want.
I thought so.
One. Yeah. Yeah. And this one's going to kind of bleed into hopefully some messages from your own higher self or your own soul. I say hopefully, although, like I say, we're getting these messages all the time. It's just really a matter of training ourselves to trust them, just letting ourselves get into that mind state. So for this one, go ahead and choose one of those areas that you wanted to concentrate on, one of those problem areas, something that you want to improve upon, have insights into a specific topic. So once you've picked that specific topic from your list of handwritten areas, go ahead and take a deep breath, close your eyes, exhale, and just go into trance. You know how, except that you're able to go deeper and deeper, calmer and calmer. The more relaxed you feel, the easier it is to go into trance, and the easier it is to go into trance, the more relaxed you feel. We have so many different ways of fixing things and improving things and communicating with the soul. I know that you'll love this one. And as you rest even more, you can allow yourself to float easily into your unconscious mind. And you'll be able to make distinctions and learnings that are useful on a deep level to you. So first, I want you to imagine that you and I are outside a large art gallery, a hypothetical imaginary art gallery. It's an enormous, beautiful building. It's ornate. There are huge double doors that open. We're out on the street near the steps. We walk up those steps, enter those double doors, and we notice there's all sorts of paintings and drawings in this art gallery. And some of these are going to apply exactly to your problem. So take a moment, and I want you to imagine that art gallery in itself. Put in as many details as you'd like to. Take a deep breath. Exhale. The doors open to the gallery. Your ticket's already been purchased. We've gone inside. You might notice other people there in the other rooms, or you might hear them, but nobody's going to bother you today while we explore this art gallery and look at all these exhibits. And you don't have to think about these other people or anything that's going on around you. Just notice all the different paintings. There's paintings that are as huge as a whole wall, and tapestries that cover up the whole surface of the wall. There's paintings that are small, maybe even as small as a postcard. And now imagine that we're going together towards one of these paintings. And this painting is draped in an enormous black drape. And we're standing in front of this painting. In a moment, we're going to whisk away this drape. And you suddenly see the amazing painting, and the painting that you see, this is going to represent the problem. So in a moment, I'll take that drape away, and you'll see the painting that resembles the problem. 1, 2, 3, whoosh. Take that drape away, and you see that painting. Stand in front of it. Examine it. Learn from it. I mean, really learn from this painting. Everything you can about this painting. And when you've taken everything you need from this painting, you can move on. But take your time, notice it, put in all those details. Very good. That's right. Everything you need to learn, you're absorbing it. And it's okay if you don't understand it. That's fine. Take it all in. And as you take that all in and have digested that, now we're going to move into another gallery. And notice in this other gallery, you have another draped painting. And I want you to go up to this draped painting. And whereas the first painting was a painting of the problem, this painting is a painting of the real problem. And I'm going to take that drape away, that curtain, whoosh, while you get to see the real problem. Take as long as you need to study that painting of the real problem. Notice all those details and examine it fully. When you've learned everything that you need to learn about the real problem, we can move on. Now that you've learned everything you need to learn about that real problem, let's move on to the third and final room. And there, of course, you see yet another draped painting. And this one represents the solution to the real problem. So stand in front of that draped painting, and I'll whisk that black drape away, whoosh, as you look at the solution to the real problem. Absorb all the learnings. Install those. Learn them. Apply them. Take in all those learnings from the solution to the real problem. And when you've taken in all the learnings for the solution to the real problem, you can leave that gallery. But on the way out, I want you to imagine that you're going to visit the gift shop. So go in that gift shop, and in that gift shop, you find a poster of that painting, the solution to your real problem. So buy that painting, roll it up in a cardboard tube, and you can take that painting with you. You have access to the solution anytime you need to. But before you go, when leaving that museum, that gallery, you notice a hidden area, a secret staircase that's leading downstairs. You never noticed this before at that gallery, so you're a little bit curious and you have to investigate it. So I want you to imagine that you're going to go down that staircase and investigate this secret area that's leading down to the basement. And as you go down that staircase, as you listen, you can hear another person's footsteps ahead of you going down. They're echoing down that stairwell. And if you keep going, you can just catch a sight of them moving down those stairs. This person seems so familiar, and you keep following them down and down, eager to catch up to them, and so curious to explore, see what you find down there. And finally, after going down a few flights of stairs, you make it down there to the bottom. And you're eager to see who it was that came there before you. And imagine your surprise. It's you. You see yourself down at the bottom of those stairs in the secret area. It's a person that looks exactly like you, and they're waiting for you. They're dressed exactly the same as you are, and they're standing there looking at you, just as if they knew you were going to be here. So I want you to look into their eyes, into your eyes, and absorb their energy. And as you do, they hand you a key. So first I want you to notice that key. Is it new? Is it old? Is it heavy? Is it light? Does it have any symbols on it? Does this key remind you of anything? This other version of you motions you down the hall. And they point you to a door at the end of the hallway. So I want you to examine the door. What's that door like? Is it old, heavy, solid, thin? What's that door like? What does it remind you of? And does it have any symbols on it? And of course, you notice that your key fits easily into the lock, makes this satisfying clunk sound as it opens that door. And open that door, and you peek in, and inside you notice a round room. And in that round room is a candle in the middle, and there's mirrors covering all of the walls in that round room. And since the walls are entirely covered in mirrors, you can see every part of yourself, even the backside of yourself. And you can just make out that image dimly. But as you stare into the candle flame, it becomes brighter and brighter. Stare into that candle flame. Let that room get brighter and brighter. You can see yourself more clearly and clearly. You can see all of your aspects become animated in that flickering fire flame. You can smell the wax from the candle and might even feel it dripping as you're holding that candle, mesmerized by the flame, mesmerized by the mirrors, and seeing all the dancing shadows. And now begin to listen. Truly listen to the messages and the inner wisdom within. You're becoming more and more curious to hear that inner voice, and more eager to meet all these helpful versions of yourself. And because this candle is for you and you alone, you're able to drift into that flame, drift into those mirrors, and use those lights and shadows and the echoes and the silence to bring you into deeper and deeper states of alignment and awareness, states you've never experienced in this way so easily before. Thank you for being here, and thanks for being so aware, being willing to accept these messages from your soul. Thank you to the guides that have made this possible. You are appreciated, and you're doing a wonderful job looking after yourself and connecting this way. And now that you're gazing into that candle, focusing on your spirit and listening with your inner ears, I'd like to speak directly with your soul. I'd like to ask permission to speak directly with your subconscious mind, that part that brought forward all of these experiences today. So if your subconscious mind, if your soul gives you permission to communicate, signal a yes, nod your head, or just give an unconscious yes. And if you're too relaxed to answer, that's okay too. I'll simply ask a few questions, then you might just know the answers without having to think about it at all. And that would be okay, wouldn't it? So just let the information come, and I'll ask a few questions. I always like to speak with the subconscious mind because it has so many resources and it knows so many things. It's able to help us and communicate. I like to speak to the subconscious mind to understand more about these messages. So allow me to ask questions. And if I have permission to ask those questions, just nod or simply say yes in your mind. Thank you so much. Now, I'm curious. Why did you bring forward these images today? Give us some information about what you've been showing us today. You may just hear the answer no, or see a picture. I'd like to ask about that animal guide that we were introduced to. Connect with your soul, and I'm asking your soul to tell you what's important about that animal guide. Maybe something that you don't already know. What does your soul want to say? What was the message that they discovered in the art gallery? What was the most important thing that they learned in the art gallery? Thank you so much. And as the soul, can you please give information about a unique gift or ability that they have? And can you please show us how that relates to their purpose in this lifetime? Give us a glimpse or a picture of how we'll be using these gifts to help others. Show them how they'll use their special, unique ability, how it's related to their purpose, and how that will help others. And how do you, the soul, communicate with the smaller parts of self? How do you communicate? How do they receive messages from you? How can they learn to sense this inner communication more easily? How can they sense these messages? And show us anything that might be standing in the way of getting these messages. What's keeping us from connecting deeper, more fully? And last but not least, any messages that your soul wants you to know. What's a parting message? What does your soul need you to know? What do they want to say to you? Excellent. And some of you may take longer than others to get these messages, and that's fine. Some messages that you receive may not make any sense at all, and that's fine too. The unconscious understands. So I want to thank that part of the soul that's brought this forward. I want to thank all these aspects of yourself, the animal guides, any spirits that helped us. Thank you so much for these communications. Realize that you're able to connect with this part of you anytime you need to and bring back this feeling. Good job. Go ahead and come back to now. I'll count to 3 to bring you all the way wide awake, feeling alert and wonderful all over. 1, coming back to this place, this time, awake, refreshed. 2, you can hear all the sounds in the room and the sounds outside the room. And 3, wide awake, feeling better than you ever had, more connected and able to get those messages from your soul as easy as anything.
That was absolutely amazing.
Yay.
Guys, I just wanted to say, if you just popped in, absolutely amazing. Julia Wagner basically just offered a free workshop on 3 exercises of how you can connect to your inner divine, your intuition, your inner wisdom, your own wisdom, and also to your spirit team. And that was just wonderful. That was 3 exercises, guys. So I hope you'll go back and catch that. And also, please feel free to type. I saw, like Joe said, for the animal, the spirit animal exercise, he said, thought of a tiger and then velociraptor, and switching back and forth. Have no idea if anything it can mean.
Yeah, it could be one that's like a hybrid, or you could literally just be connecting with 2 different animals, whichever you want, or both. It could be both. I'm curious. That's awesome. I was going to say too, if you're able to connect pretty easily in this type of setting, then one-on-one is a lot easier. Group events are always difficult because I never know what pace to go at. It's going to be people that are slower on one thing and faster on another. So if you're able to do it like this, then you guys are superstars.
Seriously. And Ira just said wasn't it, Ira? That was so relaxing and calming, Julia. I mean, it just really, truly, you have such a beautiful gift. And we greatly appreciate that you're sharing it with all of us. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. And guys, if any of this resonated and you would like to do a one-on-one, you can reach Julia Wagner at 5dexpansion.wordpress.com. And I also have underneath this video on YouTube or whatever platform you're on, all of her contacts, because I highly recommend checking out her artistic website or YouTube channel too. I just love it. Okay.
Yeah, and I do most of my stuff on Facebook. That's where I do most of my chatting with people and connecting. So if you want to find me on QHHT, Quantum Healing with Julia.
On Facebook, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that too, because sometimes people prefer more, you just lean to a platform. So
well, and I love my group too. I share all kinds of fun things and messages and quizzes and sessions and just all kinds of stuff in that group. So it's a great resource.
That was awesome. And Jennifer, hi, I just saw you pop in, and I saw Gina and Elisa and Julie join us in Clubhouse. I hope you guys will go back and check the replay, because Julia just went over messages from your soul. She just gave us 3 exercises on how you can communicate with your subconscious mind as well as your spirit team. So I hope you'll go back and check that out, guys. And I know we're over an hour. I just want to say thank you so very much, Julia. You are such a delight, such a pleasure. And I'm just so glad and honored I met a new friend, and I will be hitting you up about how to what is that application? Just in case anybody else is at the artist wants to come out
for video editing, or
yeah.
I use HitFilm,
and it's free, which I like.
Yeah. So far I've used everything that I found is on the free application, but I just love that it's easy to use.
Yeah, that was just amazing. Like, look at this. It's music. It's the video. It just like an MTV thing I was watching, back in the day.
Yeah, I like to mix a lot of visuals and then it brings out a psychedelic feeling to the music and the video. So check me out on YouTube. Check
it out, guys. Jennifer just said, "Oh, cool,
Thanks,
I
Jennifer.
will." Yeah, highly recommend, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julia. And I hope you all. I'm sorry about that. I hope you all, wherever you're at, have a wonderful, beautiful day or night. Highly recommend connecting with Julia Wagner. Again, I have all of our information underneath, but that is at 5dexpansion.wordpress.com. So much love to you all, everyone. So much love to you, Julia. I'll be talking to you soon.
Much love.
Take care. Bye, guys.